you lie. Because we all got suckered in by that joke. Yeah, because I'm not suckered anymore. If I was suckered, I would have said that. I just said that, let me see. You know, but that's what happened. And then the Bible said in the third chapter, the Lord drove him out of the Garden of Eden. And drove him out of paradise. And you know, I've been bragging on retirement, but I could have retired from the beginning of the time if Granddaddy had been so hard-headed. But it's too late. Then you go on and the Bible said, told what you call it, Eve go out, and he went out, and so they went scattered all over the place. They went scattered. Some went to Mexico, and some went, you know, not really to Mexico, but there wasn't nobody in Mexico by this time. The population was in the Middle East. If you study how these boys grew up and where they went, you'll find out that it was long enough for the world to have 1 million people by now. Okay? And they all had, what was the next situation after Eve? The second situation where the population got messed up. And I'm not talking about Israel, because Israel is just a group of people. I'm not talking about Babylon, because Babylon is a group of people. Egypt was a group of people. In other words, when these events happened, what I'm talking about, it was the condition of the whole. What was the next one? All right. And I just want to say this too, that the Bible gives instructions on how this temptation got messed up. Okay? When Eve done her thing, and then she went and told him, and then he ate some of it and all that kind of stuff. I come home a lot of times. I come home a lot of times. And they had crabs at the house. I ain't eaten none yet. I was I'll go get me some tarantulas. Y'all can eat the thing. I don't need no more. I'm just telling you. I'm making a point here. He comes back around the tree, and there she is. They got the fruit in her hand and convincing him that the Lord didn't tell us everything. And he sat there and let her persuade him into do it. And then when the Lord put him out of the Garden of Eden, what was the y'all know what the first murder was, right? Huh? Cain and Abel. We said, I think that was last week we said something about that. But jealousy came in. But that didn't affect the whole world. It affected those few people that were there. And the condemnation was on one man. In the first situation, the condemnation was on both of them. What about two people in the world? That's your first international population. So two people, Adam and Eve. And because turn to St. 1 Peter. Let me tell you how the Lord will get this out now. Y'all got 1 Timothy, 1 Peter, David. Timothy is Timothy. 1 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, and I need somebody to read me the 9th. Get my writing. First Timothy. Y'all got 1 Timothy? Okay, I want you to look at the 2nd chapter. Make sure that this thing that got spoken. I don't try to go home with the wrong information. Yeah, so that's the second thing. Well, who messed up? Who messed up the whole situation? It says woman was the what? Was tempted. All right, let's go to the 9th verse and read down. In like manner also, the woman adorned themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with gilded hair, or gold, or pearl, or costly array. Now, I need to stop there for a minute and explain to you. God didn't tell you you couldn't wear that stuff. He's saying, don't let that be all there is of you. Got it? All right, let's go. But which becometh women professing godliness with good works, that the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. Adam was not the what? But who? Being deceived with the transgression. Okay? And then the last verse said, notwithstanding she shall be, and you can tell one this, they'll curse you out. Not all of them, but you got that number of them out there that curse you out, you tell them this. Notwithstanding she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So the temptation was hers. Well, you said, well, if the temptation was hers, why did the Lord get on Adam? Ain't that a good question? If the temptation was hers and she was at fault, why would the Lord get on Adam? You got the 3rd chapter? Oh, no wonder I ain't got it. I mean, I'm just getting to it. Y'all got the 3rd chapter? All right. I'm going to explain to you why. You would think that it was because he ate the fruit. It wasn't because he ate the fruit, y'all. Did he get it? He was in charge. God, ain't that something? Wow. And the Lord said, let me have the Lord say that in the 3rd, I think the 3rd chapter. And God said, Lord said unto the serpent, I don't want to talk about that now. God said unto and the man said, the woman which thou gavest me, that's the 12th verse, she gave it me and I ate it. And the Lord said unto the woman, you know what he said unto her, and then he said unto him, he said, because you have hearkened. That's the 17th verse. Do y'all get that? The reason for you getting this punishment, you just dismiss what I said and hearken unto your wife. Wow. Man, I had cropped tobacco, chopped cotton, picked that junk, crop okra, dig up sweet potatoes, load. Used to have to take peanuts when they didn't have a peanut picker that go. You had to pull the track up there and you had to take peanuts off of this stack and put them in that thing so it could, all that stuff. Why? Because granddaddy wouldn't do what the Lord told him to do. I got tired of that. I was cropping the back. Y'all ever crop the back? No, y'all didn't talk about it. Y'all too fancy. I had to crop tobacco, toting that junk out of them fields all there, picking beans, them old whole basket of beans. I got to tote them things first man to the road down here to put them on the train. Why? Because granddaddy wouldn't do what he's supposed to do. I'm gonna bring it back to me in a minute. Because between when granddaddy did that and when God talked to the rest of the folk, there's a lot of information was in this book to keep me from doing what granddaddy did. So I take it all back. Sorry, Dad. It's my fault. But God said, the Lord said, because thou hast hearkened, thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field, and upon thy belly, they talk to the devil now, you shall crawl. You just messed up. And me and you, we messed up because we listened. You know? And then when we stumbled out, when you put us out of the garden of Eden, then we went to stumbling around between the Garden of Eden and your next situation, which is worldly, your next chronological situation that the world got caught up in with God. That boy killed his brother, and you go on down, a whole lot of stuff took place. Y'all with me? The next world event took place in the 6th chapter of Genesis. The world is populated now. It's going wide open. You got all these different people in different segments of the country, but they were more bunched during this time. And they were doing everything you can think of. 6th chapter of Genesis. Y'all got it? All right. It says the first verse. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives with an S, of all which they chose. And me and one even captured 20, he put them in the hood with him. And y'all know good as well. You get this Bible from Genesis to Revelation. And two women, the same man don't get along. Don't y'all know that? Okay. I'm married, and I wanted the woman that he had. I catch him off guard, bat him in the head, and take her to Mount 10. You know what I'm saying? It was almost as chaotic as it is today. The difference in Sodom and Gomorrah and today in Sodom and Gomorrah was a little city. But the way it is now is everywhere. That's the difference. It's worse. Lord said, my spirit, the third word, Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. That's popular. What? Wickedness. A man of his heart were only evil continually. That's what he was. What if he could imagine it? He tried. That's what man was. I had no kind of self-governing ability to take care of what's right. Nobody. Okay? Rose. 6 verse. And it repented God that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Now that's putting God in a curious position to grieve over us. And I think Paul said in his writing, grieve not the Holy Spirit. Don't let the Lord be grieving over you. You claim to be something. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I made man. I made them. But there's a little light, a little beam of light. Y'all see what that little beam of light is? I mean, it's not, it's like the head of a match. The 8th verse. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and Miss Noah was the only people on the face of the earth that had any kind of morals about obeying God. 8 people. You know, people. When I remember I said one time that the ratio of true believers and religious folks is about 2% of the folks that go to church on Sunday are really serious. And it can't be that high. That's too low. Oh no! Look, the Bible said in the 6th chapter, 1st verse, and it came to pass that men began to what? Multiply. Which was this is the population of the world. This is all men, women, children, and when the Lord said in the 8th verse, it repented me to make man. And Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. That's only 6 people compared to the multitude that was around him. And we may go to the next week if we don't get to it. Jesus said in the 24th chapter of Matthew, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be the days of the coming of the Son of Man. Same thing. As it was. We're repeating ourselves. You know? And only a few of us want to do the right thing. Just a few of us want to do the right thing. The world is not just the United States. Stop saying it. It ain't, don't even say it no more. It's the world. Okay? They're everywhere. Even them folks over here on the igloos is sinful. You know? Everywhere. Africa, Mexico, the Middle East, Russia, China, all of these different areas of the country is contaminated with the 6th chapter of Genesis. All over again. So what the Lord did with this evil? I don't want to talk about the generation of Noah, talk about Noah and his boy, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and all that kind of stuff, and it went on. And then the Lord said, I'm going to, in the 17th verse, and behold, even I, do bring a flood of water upon the earth to destroy how many? All flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee, talking Noah, I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wives and thy sons' wives with thee. Y'all getting out. He done told them on build up. And that's where they come and talking about the devil helped Noah build out. Man, the devil ain't helped Noah. He was the whole world. Why would he build them a train now when he done destroyed the whole world with his temptation? You know, we got to learn what you call it, self-restraint. And what they wasn't able to do, or they didn't do, was have self-restraint. The only one that had self-restraint was Noah and his 3 boys. 3 boys. And they got married. And them women ought to be, they probably is, the women ought to be shouting. Because they married them 3 boys before the Lord got ready to destroy everything. Well, because if they'd have been single, they'd been going with the wind. So that's your second pandemonium that God dealt with the world when he destroyed it. And it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and all fish was killed but the few that was on that ark. This is the world pandemic. Okay? Can y'all tell me the next one? You got Adam and Eve, and then you got what that boy name? You got them boys killing one another. You got Noah. Noah is the second one. What is the third one? Well, man and God have. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you where it is. Because watch when you go, oh, that is right. Watch when I take you to that, what you're gonna say. 11th chapter of Genesis. 11th chapter of Genesis. The 6th through the 11th chapter of Genesis, 6th through the 10th chapter of Genesis, they give you a chronological development of growth of the people in the world. This was after the flood, okay? And it tells that by the time the 11th chapter come along, man had begun to populate themselves over the world again. Now they're going to do something stupid again. Why are we like that? How are we like that? We just won't follow the rule. I remember while y'all getting it. I remember I was working on a job where Miss Fanning, both man told us to do a certain job. Say, I want you to go down here and do that. Miss Washington, I want you to go do this. And Miss Geraldine, I want you to go do this over again. Miss Louise, you go this way. And he got everybody all over the place. Miss Geraldine told me, Louise, you come down here and work for me. She said, but Miss Warren, she said, oh, don't worry about it. We can do it. We go to yoga, you do mine. I said, Louise, and cover it up. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to go out there and dig a hole, spit it, and cut it back up. I said, you better do what the bald man said. Oh, he ain't going to do nothing. And she took him, Miss Geraldine took her around the corner. And I would be coming down the hall about an hour and a half later, and boy, he was ripping Miss Louise up and down. You know what I did? I didn't do it. I didn't. And she come running where I was crying. Mr. Warren, man. Mr. Warren got on me. I didn't do what he told me. I said, Miss Louise, I told you. I said, Miss Geraldine ain't your supervisor, it's Louise. Mr. Warren, you just do what he tell you. Don't worry about what Miss Geraldine said. I ain't gonna do that. I said, it's too late now. You know? We have to become independent in our relationship with God. I don't care what things look like, we have to learn, and we do. It takes trial and error for us to get our ducks in line. But we have to learn that we have to be independent on our talk with God, on our walk with God. So when the world began to repopulate itself, what did the world start doing again? The 11th chapter.
made up new languages.
They had one language. Everybody knew how to, hey, good morning, Joe. Hey, Rob. Hey, Mary. Everybody had the same language. And instead of just farming, like the Lord told Adam in the Garden of Eden or something like that, they want to do something spectacular. You know what they want to do, though? What was it? We're going to build a tower. Where are we going to go with it? They want to build a tower and make it go all the way into heaven. Boy.
Oh, they'll get to heaven down living right.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. And get a highway go. And that Russia said when they first went going around space, he come back and said that he don't believe that no heaven because they've been all up and they ain't heading nowhere. That was in the early 60s when they were talking like that. So the whole world was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar. And they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach into heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city of the tower, which the children of men built. A little bit of tower. I guess it was a little higher than the one them fellows flew into. Do they understand what heaven is? If I ask you over what heaven is now, the first thing y'all do is up where? Because watch this. Here in the United States, up there, right there, on the bottom of this planet is another country that's pointing that way. Because it's up where they are. Now where is it? Is it up there, down there, over there? You know? But that's the ignorance of man. To let us build a tower and let us reach to heaven. And when the Lord saw it, where was that? He said in himself, well, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So that's where you get all these languages from. At one time, it was just one language. Now they got many men until they was many. You want to get confused on languages, you go in Africa, they mess you up. And you can go to Europe. You got all of these little countries over there, and each one of these countries is speaking a different dialect from the other. Y'all ever know, you take Danish, everybody got a little different speech. But in Africa, it's messed up in Africa, y'all. You don't know what those fellas say. Okay? So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore it is named, and therefore the name of it is called what? And you know what the word Babylon means? Do you know what I'm saying? Babylon, you just Babylon. And the name is city after that. That's your third time. And this was the whole world. If these two people could understand one another, They went that way. These two people, or three people, focused on the, they went that way. That's how the war get into this multi-lingual system where everybody is learning something new. And it was because they were, now the real why they didn't get the tragedy that the flood gave was because it wasn't that they were being so evil, it was that they how you gonna build? If you build a tower and the base of it is big as this hood, it ain't gonna get to heaven. Because heaven ain't where you looking. You know, that's the problem with them. So they, what the Lord did was confound their language, and they wasn't able to make the point that they was going to make. That's in the 11th chapter, 9 verses. Think about that as we go. And make sure we understand that if we obey God, if this world would obey God, I tell you what, if every man in the world today, I'm talking about what, June the 3rd, would say, I'm through with Satan and his mess, have been booking us down through the years, would disappear. Y'all hear me? Think about it now. It shows you how our act affected the animals. You know, you can go through. I ain't gonna do it because I'm too sick. You can walk down the street, and if a dog got the side of the road, you don't know what it. You know what I'm saying? He don't know you. That's because you are the master of his emotion. But your mastery is confusing him. So rather than to wag his tail, he grabs that will kick you. We had one named George who was working on that farm, talking that about. You know about that, do you? He'll look around like this man, like he's looking on now. Wow! Yeah, he will. He kicked you and built through him, and his feet were right here. Could have broke that man's rib and all that kind of stuff. And George had already killed a man. And we wondered one time why come the ball man wouldn't get rid of him. But he had it for a long time. You go to a monkey, we went to a zoo. And I was a fat. And me and Shirley and all of us, we were young men. Shirley in our early teens. And when we got there, all the money was in there. And I don't know why Shirley did that. She spit at me. Y'all know what was in the house. And she had a pretty candy apple in her hand. And that monkey run up in the, fell on the apple. And she was, hey, my uncle said, you shouldn't have spit at it. He had to throw the apple away. You know? And you look at lions. Lion was disrupted because of man. Man. And I say again, we're about to finish, y'all. It's 2 minutes after. Ain't that good? Unless y'all got another hour, y'all want to hold. But you think about how God have given us the power to control the universe. You got some people that can go out and touch a dog and never seen it before. I'm not one of those people, okay? Mosquitoes wasn't here. Flies, gnats, frogs. Any creeping thing that was not positive to creation came later. And we can't get rid of it. Everybody get me out. Billy club and knock him in the head, especially that frog. I don't know how in the world we get around some of the stuff. Snakes don't bother me, never did. You know? Because I know where he is and I know which way to go. But that frog that jump on you, man. You know what I'm saying? He would literally jump on you. Anybody that can handle a frog, he does. And you got a frog big as a dog. Well, they said he ain't quite that big. When you got a frog, you hold him in his feet way down here, that dog, that's a dog. You know? But it all, we brought that on ourselves. He said, thistle, there was no sand spur. Read it. There was no sand spur on the face of the earth. He said, thistles and thorns you have to deal with. You know, all because we're just hard-headed. And I pray every day that God will keep me humble, keep me obedient, keep me doing what He would have me to do. This is a daily prayer that I have. You know, I didn't have it all my life. Ain't lose me tell no lies. Man, I've been good. I ain't been good all my life. I told y'all Sunday, you got some chicken that they can talk to you now. They tell you, no, he was no good. Ma'am?
One-eyed chicken.
Yeah, one-eyed chicken. Dog walk around there hopping. And we were good at it, man. I can knock a bullet off of a lip, put them in that back door with one of them slingshots that didn't have no staff. I want to just put that rubber across the finger. Pow! Go this. Bust people lights when they went home. We walk around on the pastors and them cows. I know it's wrong. I don't repent. Don't worry. I'm just telling you. I repented of all that stuff. But David was my middle name.
Have you repented of that yet?
Ma'am,
Have you repented?
plenty of it. Believe me, plenty of it. You know, but what confession done is give me the ability to understand why I had to come back over those things. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff God will hide from you, but some stuff just for the sake of making you remember that you did it, He lets you go through it again. Don't let nobody fool you. Any other questions? But think about it. We've come 2,000 years. And if you look at between these events that took place in the lesson, if you look at the age of the men during those times, you'll find out that all this happened in thousands, hundreds of years. You know, they come to the flood. Adam was 139 years old when he died. You know, and you're talking about generations way down the line. But Noah was what, 120 when it all started, 200 or something, and it was took him 120 years to build that ark. Okay, Methuselah, what took place between the beginning and the development of the tower, Methuselah was 960 years in advance. It's been 2,021 years since the crucifixion. It's almost time. And I don't think nobody's ready. Okay? I just hope we'll be ready when the Lord get tired of this mess. You know? Because here's what the Bible says. I'm going to read that to you on next week. Read you from the book, and we'll support now. It's when we get our heads on, we will beat our fly shield.